Hey, hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today in this video, we will create the login API. So how we can log in the user and send the authentication token through our API to the front end. So let's get started. Okay, so let me start my server. I'm gonna start. Now let's stop it. Okay, now let's create a route for login. We have user controller dot login. Now let's create a function for the same like this. Export dot login. It will be a async function. It's the best practice to use the exception to handle the exceptions also when you are working with APIs. Now we also need to handle the validations also. So let's add some validation. So for login we will use your email and it should be required, and there should be an email, and for password it should be also required, and min length should be 8. Okay, now let's check. If matched, so now if validation is matched, then this, otherwise I will send a response dot status 422 the JSON format. So if the validation is passed, then firstly we need to check if user is exist or not with that email ID. So let's check that thing. User equals to wait db dot users dot find one where email is request dot body dot email. Okay, now if any user is exist, in that case this, otherwise. So by default status will be 200, so we can pass status false and message will be user does not exist. And if the user is there, then we need to also the password will be in raw format, and we have stored the password in encrypted, so we need to check with that encryption. So as you already know, we are using SQLize Bcrypt to encrypt our password. So let's check how we can check the password using SQLize Bcrypt. Let's go on SQLize version 7 documentation, and in the resources we have SQLize Bcrypt. So SQLize Bcrypt gives already that function. Yes, user.authenticate. So we need to just pass the password here, the raw password, and it will give us the true or false. So let's use this. If there is an user exists, then we need to check if the password is correct or not. User.authenticate, should be authenticate dot authenticate, and we need to pass the raw password, which will be request dot body dot password. So if it is correct, then this, else we will return the user. Status will be false and message will be invalid password. And if the password is correct, we can also add one more check if the user's status is true or not. If user dot status true, and this, otherwise we can say dot json status will be false and message will be inactive. And if user's status is true, now we need to create a token with the data. So for creating the token, we need to use a package, which is, so the package that we need to use is JSON web token. So let's JSON web token npm. Yeah, let's install this package. Okay, we have installed the package. Now let's see how we can use this. Okay, so yeah, this, we need to add this in our controller and jwt.sign. So token will be jwt.sign. So here we need to pass the object, like what information we want to save in our token, and it will be a secret. So currently I am adding it as static test, but please try to use this as an from an environment variable. Okay, so what we can do is let's use environment variable. So for that we need to install .env package. Okay, so let's install this. Now let's add this in our app.js at the top, and in the root directory let's create a file with the name of .env, and here we can create a variable jwt secret, and this will be anything you can add. And here now we can use it like process.env.jwt secret, like this process.env dot, or you can also change these from environment variable. Later we will do that thing also. Process.env.jwt secret, and here we need to pass the data, so we can add id of the user. That will be user.id, and name user.name, also uuid user.uuid, and email also user.email, and created that also user.created at. Yeah, I think that's sufficient for us. Okay, so this is how we have generated our token, and let's pass this token to user. Response.json, here we can say status will be true, message we can say logged in. As a data we can pass user detail and also a token, in this case which will be token. Now let's try to run this. Let's start the server first. Let's create a new API. It will be a post, and API will be login. And let's try to run this. Okay, so we haven't passed anything, so we got the error, validation error, email and password. So now let's pass the email, that is ajay@gmail.com. Password we have used is 9. So let's firstly add wrong password 128. Let's see what happened. I think something. Okay, so it is giving us the error of invalid password. That is correct, because the password is 1 to 9. Now let's add correct password. In this case we got the user information along with token. So we will use this token to access the authenticated routes, so which are protected routes. We will use this token. So this is how we used to log in. So in the next video we will create a authenticated route, like that route require a token to authenticate the user, and we will also create a middleware for checking that token. So yeah, okay, thank you guys, thank you so much, and not forget to like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you.